What's up, guys? This is Nima here. And one of the games that I've been playing recently to kind of help, honestly, with anxiety and things of that nature, I've noticed the 2D platforming kind of fast-paced game kind of takes my mind off of my problems and or just the anxiety in general. And so what I've been playing is actually Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. I didn't play it when it came out on the Wii U. This was a game I missed, and so I've been playing it quite a bit lately. Almost at the end, just about ready to beat it. Really, really fun game, really, really great. But you know how sometimes things just kind of coincide, and maybe you get into something at just the right time. It seems like I did that with Donkey Kong Country. The reason why is because it looks like our buddy DK is coming back in a big way. So there's a leak that had been released a couple days ago, and basically they were saying that they are working on releasing a new Donkey Kong Country game here very, very soon, probably within the year, which would be insane. And I understand that a lot of people expected there to be something at the Nintendo Direct at E3, and there wasn't. Uh, but from what I've understood from the leak, that didn't really mean much. Nintendo thought that they had a lot going into it, and they did. And so they wanted to hold on to this bit of information. The reason why they're releasing another game, though, is it sort of coincides with another thing that Nintendo is doing, as we've been told that they're actually working on expanding the Donkey Kong Country land, um, which you can see. Here's some pictures of what it might look, but uh, when I say the Super Nintendo land, the Super Mario land in Japan, they're actually expanding it into the DK, and they want to make a big thing about Donkey Kong and kind of bring him into the fold of celebrated Nintendo characters right up there with Mario. And I think that's a really good move for Nintendo because we all love Mario and Mario is great, but some of us really, really prefer like Donkey Kong and Zelda and Metroid and some other really forgotten stars of the Nintendo brand. And so to see them kind of expand that love a little bit, showing some other people, maybe we'll get more stuff from Animal Crossing and games like that, Splatoon, just some other love from Nintendo brands because they're really good. Like so many of these Nintendo games are wonderful, and it seems like Mario gets all the love. Um, but now we're seeing maybe the expansion of Donkey Kong, bringing him into the fold at a much bigger level than what we're aware of. So if we get that new game coming out soon in the Donkey Kong Land, that would be a lot of fun. The other thing that people have really been talking about has been this auction that we've seen for a sealed copy of The Legend of Zelda for the NES. Now, it was a variant copy. I guess it was only available for a couple months. Anyway, at auction, it sold for $870,000. And it seemed like quite a bit. A lot of people have had some some thoughts about why this would sell like that. And this was at a heritage auction, and the game was rated by WADA. And that was there were people who had thoughts about maybe some malicious involvement going on with this because a sealed copy of a Nintendo game is great. They're rare, they're hard to find, all of that, and they're worth a lot of money. But almost $1 million? And eyebrows got raised. We'll put it that way. Eyebrows continued to raise, not unlike The Rock, when a sealed copy of Super Mario 64 um, sold for $1.5 million. Now, it's not the one that we're looking at on the screen right now. This one is actually an 8.5. But the one that did sell was a 9.8, graded by WADA again on the Heritage Auctions. $1.5 million for a game that was released in most of our lifetime. And honestly, probably 5 years ago, maybe $100, $200, because this Super Mario, wasn't any different. It wasn't a variant. It wasn't a rare. It was just a sealed copy, and I'm sure excellent condition. $1.5 million. And that brought a lot of speculation about what's going on with it. And I think there's something there. You can't prove anything, and again, it's all speculation. But you kind of think about it. What would a company pay for advertisement? Hundreds, thousands of dollars? Hundreds of thousands of dollars? If you look into big companies, they spend millions of dollars on advertisement. Well, what if you have two companies that are working together to get a lot of advertisement, to get their names up? And I would think that maybe some shadow bidding could draw attention, because not only in the gaming world are a lot of people talking about this, just in traditional media in general, people are talking about a Super Mario game selling for $1.5 million. And on both of these, the Zelda and the Mario, the buyers are, of course, anonymous. We don't know who they are. Um, there are um, gaming uh, historians, if you will, who also don't have access to find out who bought these games. Or a lot of people who are usually in the know are not on this one. And that seems very odd because, again, it's a rare game. Sure, it's sealed. It's in excellent condition. All of that. Sure, great, great, great. 1.5 million? And the reason why this kind of the Super Mario 64 specifically brings up this conversation is because the same game graded just 2 points lower, and we're talking 9.6 grade of Super Mario 64 in the case, sealed, perfect, everything great. 0.2% or zero point 0.2 points lower. It sold for 13,000. So why does that 0.2 make one game worth 1.5 million and the other one worth 13,000? See, something just kind of smells fishy there. And if there's a story that comes out, or we find out later that Heritage Auctions and WATA Gaming or WATA certification have been working together in unison for publicity, because let's be honest, how many people probably have games now that they think, well, okay, I've got a Super Mario 64. It's not in the box and it's got writing on it, but hell, it's got to be worth something. Maybe I can get $1,000 out of it. Maybe I can get $2,000 out of it. How many of these people are going to end up using WATA and sending their games? And look, I'm a halfway kid with the open games, but people that do have sealed games, a lot of people are going to try to get graded by WATA now, because now they think, oh, I might be sitting on $1 million. There's a lot of collectors out there, a ton of game collectors. We all know at least one or two people who have a vault of sealed games, and it's like $250, $300 to get these things registered. Who stands to make a lot of money? That's all I'm saying. Again, it's all speculation and we don't really know. So a game I'm really excited for is Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. And there's been a ton of improvements that Nintendo hasn't really told us about. Everything from being able to speed up dialogue to less dialogue in general, to one of the characters who apparently is kind of annoying, kind of being censored a little bit, getting him to stop talking to you. Apparently, Fee is apparently super annoying. And I say apparently because I never played the game. That's why I'm really excited for it. Um, as well as just kind of the ability to speed the game up a little bit. There are animations for every time you open a chest or you get an item, and apparently that only happens one time, and now it's over. And all of these upgrades and accessibility features really add up to something that I think is going to be really popular for a lot of gamers, because it really does bring Skyward Sword into the modern age. But the one big thing that Nintendo didn't really tell us. And in fact, a lot of people discovered because John from Nintendo Life pointed out that it looks like it actually has a free roam camera, a camera that you can control. And I know, like, for all of us who are playing games now, we're like, well, of course, that's stupid. Why not? Well, back in the Wii, you didn't have a second analog stick. So you had to turn your character one way and then hit like the Z button and it would autofocus the camera. For me, that's huge that we don't have to deal with that. And it seems curious to me why it's, I don't know, less than a week and Skyward Sword is finally getting talked about. I have become a huge Zelda fan since Breath of the Wild. I know, I'm a bandwagoner. I've been playing a ton of the old games. I love about every one I've played. There's only like a couple that I really demand a remake because they're just really hard to play going back to them. But I feel like Nintendo sometimes kind of just forgets about The Legend of Zelda. Oh, those Zelda fans still buy it regardless. It doesn't matter. Whatever. We'll kind of forget it. And then maybe sales aren't doing well, or it's kind of like a last minute thing. Oh, we forgot to talk about it. We've announced the game. We're bringing it back. We did add a bunch of new features in it. Oh, we forgot to tell people. And it kind of seems like that thing with this. In fact, arguably, the two biggest things for people in Skyward Sword are the motion controls, which we won't have to deal with anymore unless we want to, which is great for someone like me who does not want to fight around my living room. I am a father in my mid 30s. I do not need to be dancing around with a controller in my hand in my living room. Um, but there's that, and then the camera. Those are the two biggest things people would complain about, and they fixed it. And John from Nintendo Life had to tell us about half of that. Kind of interesting that Nintendo doesn't push their own product like they should. Anyway, I'm really, really excited for Skyward Sword. I've never played it, and so I think this is a great jumping off point for me to get into it. I'm curious though how many people are interested in getting it. I saw some polls done recently, one on Spawnwave and one on Switchforce, and it looks like the majority of people actually aren't going to pick up Skyward Sword. And so I'm kind of curious, are you guys interested in picking it up? Are you fans of Zelda? And, or have you just played this game already and you don't feel like it's going to add anything to your experience? And I'm really curious to hear what you guys think about it. All right, guys, I am done for the day. You take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones. See ya.